The homeless. Yeah, you see them. You walk past them almost every day. I'm talking about them people out there on the streets who don't have nowhere to stay. The ones you see eating out the trash while you decide whether or not to tip your waitress, then go home to a comfortable bed while concrete is their only mattress. Yeah, you see them, the ones standing on the corner with their hands extended out. The ones who sleeping underneath bridges in their plastic and cardboard house. Do I need to define compassion? Because you don't seem to know what that means. Maybe you think they're just a bunch of junkies, alcoholics, and dope fiends. Don't assume to know their story, because that can easily be you. And you absolutely have no idea of what these people are going through. Yeah, you see them, the ones you judge who only happen to falling on hard times. And you won't even stop to give them a sandwich, not even a nickel or a dime. Nobody wants to be homeless, so have a heart for someone else. Instead of ignoring and passing them by, how about giving them a little help? I know you see them walking down the highway holding up their signs. Some of them are Vietnam vets who just happen to lose their mind. Imagine going off to war, surviving enemy attacks, then coming home to where ain't nothing here waiting for you when you get back. Yeah, you see them, but you won't help because you tell yourself, what's the use? Not knowing that that woman's on the streets because she just escaped her husband's abuse. And that runaway kid who is out there all alone, they don't want to be out there suffering. They're just too ashamed to go back home. And where is the church? And where is the government aid? This is a wound that's far too big to be only covered with a Band-Aid. Because the blood is on our hands. Instead of shelters, we build prisons. And there are thousands of God's people living on the streets without provisions. And the church is non-existent. We may feed them here and there, but sometimes I sit and wonder, do we really even care? Yeah, you see him, that man on the corner that you drive by every week. He is sitting out there freezing with tears frozen against his cheeks. And what about the dog days of summer when they pass out in the shade and you won't even buy them a bottle of water and you know you just got paid? And then you say something ignorant like they need to go and work, but you see their situation and you don't care how bad they hurt. You only say, how can a human being choose to live like this? How can they sleep in their own feces and walk around soaked in their own piss? The problem is deeper than you know. Why don't you pray for a solution? Because many of them are sick and need to be in mental institutions. But you continue to turn your back, just like the rest of the population. But they are just like you and me. All they need is some salvation. And I pray that one day the Lord will turn that thing around so that you can know how it feels to be hungry and sleeping on the ground. Because Jesus can relate. Let me quote just what he said. Foxes have holes, birds have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. In other words, he was homeless, but now he lives inside of you. And the harvest is so plentiful, but the laborers are few. Yeah, you see him, but the Father is keeping records of what we do. So don't be shocked when you hear depart from me because I never knew you. For I was hungry and you didn't feed me. I was thirsty and you didn't give me a drink. I was a stranger and you didn't invite me into your home. I was naked and you didn't give me clothing. I was sick and in prison and you didn't visit me. I'm homeless and now here suffering and I know that you can see me.